Hello everyone and welcome to this new video in which we are going to talk about chapter 2 of class 6 history NCERT. And guys, don't think that this video is very short, whether it will be sufficient for your exam or not. Trust me, this is sufficient. I have covered all the important points which are necessary for your exam preparation. Okay, apart from that, we are not supposed to do anything. But yes, you need to focus upon the NCERTs of higher classes because generally the questions will not come from 6th, 7th, 8th. It will come from the higher standard NCERTs. Okay, but in order to build a strong foundation, you are supposed to study class 6, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th NCERTs also. Okay, although class 9th and 10th NCERT of history is not needed for your preparation. Okay, so 6th, 7th, 8th is needed. So just go through them twice and then focus on the higher classes NCERT. So in this chapter we are going to cover some important points for your examination point of view, and we are just covering it in very short. Okay, so first of all, your chapter mentions about the Paleolithic sites. So Paleolithic means the old Stone Age, that is the earliest period when the Stone Age began. Okay, so for you to remember here is there are three important sites. First is Kurnul caves, then Hunski, and then Bimbetka. Okay, just remember these three important sites. Nothing else is required from the NCERT of class 6 apart from these three sites in this section. Okay, so just remember these three names because there can be an MCQ question that which of the following are the Paleolithic sites, and you have to mark the correct option. Okay, so just keep on memorizing these sites. Then chapter talks about the Neolithic sites. So I have mentioned the names. So first site is Piyampalli, then the second is Halur, and third is Daujali Harding, then Mahagad, then Koldiba, Chirand, Mehergarh. So these are some important Neolithic sites. Neolithic is referred to as a period which was the new Stone Age. Okay, and it was last of all the Stone Ages. Okay, so that is Neolithic age when the agriculture actually began. Okay, and the farming communities came into existence. So in between Paleolithic and Neolithic, there is an age called as Mesolithic. So Mesolithic is a middle Stone Age. So here there are two important sites which are mentioned in NCERT for you to remember. That is Adi Chanalur, and the another important site is Brahmagiri. Okay. So apart from this, the chapter talks about the natural rocks, natural caves and rock shelters which are found in Vindhyas and the Deccan Plateau. Okay. So the part of Vindhyas and Deccan Plateau in our country contains some natural caves and rock shelters. Then the chapter talks about an important concept called as factory sites. So what are these factory sites? Where we have found the stone tools, and we have actually found the evidences that stone tools were being made on that particular site. So that is called as a factory site where the tools were actually being manufactured. And how do we know that tools were actually being manufactured on that site? Because some kind of waste material would have left over there. Okay, so that's why we know that it was a factory site. Then the chapter talks about two important techniques of making stone tool. The first technique is the stone on stone technique, and the second technique is called as the pressure flaking technique. Okay, so we are going to see how these two technique works. So apart from this, the chapter also tells you the detail of Paleolithic period, and it tells you that it extends from 2 million years ago to about 12,000 years ago. And this Paleolithic period is further divided into the three portions, that is lower Paleolithic, that is the earliest, then middle Paleolithic, that is in between, and the upper Paleolithic, which is the latest in the Paleolithic age. Okay, and these lower, middle, and upper Paleolithic have different features about which you will be able to read in class 12th NCERT. Okay, so the new class 12th NCERT talks has some kind of a page which talks about Paleolithic period, though it does not have any details on the Stone Age. But the class 11th NCERT, which is the older version, okay, you can buy it from the market or you can download it online. That talks about these three divisions, that is the lower Paleolithic, middle Paleolithic and the upper Paleolithic in detail. Okay, from there you can read, but new NCERT of class 12 does not talk about it. Okay, so then moving ahead, the another period is the Mesolithic period, that is in between the Neolithic and the Paleolithic. So from 12,000 years ago till about 10,000 years ago, there is an age called as Mesolithic, that is the middle stone age, and the stone tools found during this period are tiny and they are called as microliths. Okay, and about this we will talk in the higher classes, like what were these, but you just remember for timing the timeline of these ages and the stone tools which were used. Like in the Mesolithic, microliths were used, while in the Paleolithic, core tools were used. Core tools means very roughly made tools. They were not highly carved or highly precise tools. Okay. Then apart from Mesolithic, moving on to the another stage, that is called as the Neolithic age. Neolithic is the new stone age. Okay, so that is latest of all three, and it starts from about 10,000 years ago, and it is like it lasts till the 6,000 like 6,000 BC. Okay, and there on the Mehrangarh cultures and all that started, and the Harappan civilization came into existence. Okay, so Neolithic age is the new stone age. So ostriches were found during Paleolithic period in India. That is another important fact which NCERT talks about. So now let us look at the maps of the sites about which we were talking. So first of all, let us see these three sites: Kurnool Caves, Hunsgi and Bhimbetka. Okay, so here you can see Kurnool Caves are here on the near the eastern coast of India. Then Hunsgi is in the region which is in Karnataka, and another important site, that is Bhimbetka, that is in the uh, Madhya Pradesh, as we all know. Okay, and guys, don't confuse that Bhimbetka is a Mesolithic site only. No, it is not a Mesolithic site only, but it contains the painting which were made in the Mesolithic times. Okay, but the rock shelter itself is like it has the evidences that it was there in the Paleolithic times also. Okay, so Mesolithic Bhimbetka is an Mesolithic site also, but it is like it belongs to Paleolithic period also. Okay, but the paintings which it contains are actually from the Mesolithic times. They were made in the Mesolithic times. So the other important sites which we had talked about, like Daujali, Harding, Pempali, Brahmagiri, these are also mentioned on this map. You can take the screenshot. And moving on to another important thing, like which we had talked about, the stone tool technique. So this is stone on stone technique, which is being shown here, and another technique was flaking technique. So this is a flaking technique on which the flakes are being made. Okay, so guys, these were some of the important points from chapter 2 of class 6 history NCERT, and I hope you have liked this lesson. Kindly subscribe to the channel.